If you struggle with flow state, then this video is perfect for you. But first of all, what is a flow state? Flow state is when you're fully focused, completely in the zone, and everything feels effortless. When a musician plays all the correct notes without even thinking. When a writer writes with no thought about what he's going to write next, it just flows out of him. Time flies, and simply, you feel at your best and perform at your best. To break it down simply, being in a flow state is like playing video games and you're so focused that you don't even hear your mom calling you saying that, dinner's ready, come down now. You don't hear a thing. And when you eventually go down, she'll be like, I called you 20 times. And you'll be like, what? Didn't even call me once. Flow is that period in a sports game where you aren't thinking about how tired you are. You're not even thinking about your next move. You're just playing the game with complete focus, with this single-minded focus where there's not even a thought about your next move. When you're in a flow stage, your brain and body work together perfectly, creating this magical synergy. You don't even feel tired. You don't even think about tired. See, your body could be absolutely exhausted, but you won't even think about it. And because you're not thinking about it, it won't even exist. Flow is especially powerful for you and I because it increases our output by 4 times. Yes, 4 times. And there's actually this common myth that we can multitask. In fact, I'm going to make another separate video about multitasking. But first, let me admit, we can juggle a few things at the same time. But our productivity and output in any one of those will drop by a factor of 4. Meaning we're 4 times less productive if we multitask with just one other thing. In fact, there was actually a study done where they were testing the effects of multitasking. And they only used 2 things. And in that, they found that when you multitask, or actually switch your attention to something else and try to switch it back, you're 4 times less productive. The thing is, society nowadays has encouraged multitasking. In fact, we all do it, but subconscious. See, multitasking isn't looking at 4 different screens where you are actively trying to do 4 different things. Sometimes multitasking is you've set a task for yourself. You want to finish this project. You want to write 1,000 words. You want to have 20 sales calls. Well, let's say after 20 minutes, you're like, I wonder if this person's replied. And then you open WhatsApp, you check if they've replied, and you see, oh, they've replied. Now you're like, okay, let me go back to the activity that I was doing, but that has ruined your productivity. And that effect is called the cognitive cost of task switching. So when you're in a flow state, you have pure focus on one thing. All your mental energy is channeled towards achieving that one goal, making you more creative, a better problem solver. Imagine how powerful it would be if you could get in this flow more often. And I'm going to tell you exactly that right now. For those of you who like the scientific definitions, flow happens when your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine, making you feel super focused and motivated. When this happens, your prefrontal cortex, part of your brain that's responsible for overthinking, goes quiet. Hey, my dog's gonna come up here. It might. So if you see a dog popping up there, then you just know it's my dog. So when this happens, you stop doubting yourself and you simply just take action. So to get into a flow state, you need 4 things. The first thing is you need a clear goal. You need to know what you want to achieve and why you want to achieve that thing. If you look back and analyze most of the times that you've been in flow, you'll find that you had a clear goal. Whether it was when you were playing sports and you're like, we need to win this game and I want to play well. Whether it was when you were writing a section of a book and you're like, okay, today I'm going to write 2,000 words. Whatever it was, you had a clear goal. And see, those clear goals are important for us because our brains are problem-solving machines. We thrive on having problems and looking to solve those problems. The second thing you need is a balance between challenge and skill. See, again, if you analyze all the times that you've been in flow, you'll find that you were doing something that was quite challenging, possibly a bit above your skill grade, but it wasn't so hard that you didn't believe you were able to do it. It was probably one of those things where you believed that, okay, if I put all my attention into this, I'll be able to complete it. It looks a bit challenging, it feels challenging, but I might be able to do it. Like you had the belief that somehow it was possible that you'd achieve that thing. The next thing you need is no distractions. See, distractions are the killer of a flow state. A flow state is quite literally single-minded focusedness. You're not thinking about anything else. You're not thinking about, oh, what am I going to have for dinner? You're not even thinking. You are just doing what is in front of you. And see, when you have distractions, you kill the chance for any of that. Like you can't really get into a flow state when you're distracted. There's WhatsApp notifications. Oh, your mom's calling you. Oh, this is now trying to pull your attention. Flow requires all your attention. And fair enough, like let's say you're playing a sports game. There's a crowd. It's very easy to get distracted, the fans saying stuff. But in those scenarios where there is a possibility for distraction and it's normal, you have to focus. You can't look out to the crowd. You can't be looking out thinking, I wonder what they're thinking. You just have to focus on what you are doing. And the longer you focus, the more likely you are to drop into that flow state. And the fourth and final thing you need to get into a flow state is an immediate feedback loop. If we have a clear goal, number one, you need to know that you're making progress to it. And the sight of you making progress, or the thoughts that, oh, I'm making progress towards this, will motivate you more to release more dopamine, which aids with the flow state. And again, I think for the 3rd or 4th time I've said, when you look back to the times that you've had flow, if you think about it, you had a clear goal, but on top of that, you were able to gauge your progress. See, if you had the goal of writing 2,000 words, you were able to see that word count going up. You'd be writing, oh, 200, oh, 600, what, 1,600? And that's it. Kind of a simple way to explain flow, how to systemize it, and how to get into flow day to day. Anyways, I help busy, hardworking professionals who are in need of a mental reset achieve just that in 2 weeks using my coaching program. If this is something you want, something you're interested in, there's a link in the description. Click it and we'll be able to schedule a 30-minute strategy call where we can discuss ways in which we can help you.